Hello, welcome to this update. Sorry for the late update, but let's take a look here what's going on. So we have a slight risk for severe weather today in parts of Minnesota and North Dakota, and a marginal in parts of northeastern Nevada, Utah, southeastern Idaho, Wyoming, northern Colorado, South Dakota, Nebraska, northwestern Kansas, and some other areas there. So let's see. Wind threat is 15% in the slide there in the north and 5% there. Hail threat is also 15% there in the north and 5% all the way south to northeastern Colorado. And the tornado threat is a bigger 2% there in North Dakota, Minnesota, and northeastern South Dakota. So be aware there. Let's see. Scarce severe thunderstorms capable of producing both large hail and damaging winds appear possible across portions of the northern plains vicinity, including parts of the Dakotas, northern Minnesota, mainly this afternoon and evening. So be aware. Let's see for tomorrow. There's another slight risk tomorrow from northern Kansas to southern North Dakota, and there's a marginal from Kansas to Minnesota and west to Montana and Wyoming, including parts of Idaho, Missouri, South Dakota, North Dakota, and some other areas. So wind threat is 15% tomorrow and 5% in the marginal and the slight. Hail threat is a smaller 15% and a 5% for hail. Tornadoes a small 2% in South Dakota there. So let's see there. Scarce severe thunderstorms are expected across parts of the central and northern plains on Sunday. So be aware for Sunday tomorrow. For Monday, there's just a marginal from parts of western Kentucky to Minnesota, including parts of Missouri, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Iowa, and westernmost Indiana. So general risk of thunderstorms throughout other areas in the south, the north, even the northeast, and probabilistic 5%. So be aware. Let's see, day 4 through 8, there's nothing. They already have some associated discussions there for parts of Utah, Wyoming, and other areas. Let's see. So the fire threat is isolated dry thunderstorms possible from Utah to Oregon, and elevated in Nevada, parts of Utah, northwestern Arizona. For tomorrow, an elevated from Nevada to southern Wyoming, and a dry thunderstorm possible from parts of northwestern Wyoming into Montana and maybe Idaho. So be aware there. Let's see here some other things. Here's the discussion that they put now. Isolated damaging gusts possible this afternoon and evening. Let's see some other things. Wait. Here, so this is the her. Let's see for the north first. So we have some showers there, and then more storms start like in the early afternoon in parts of Ontario there, some more in southern Saskatchewan, and then these storms start forming mainly in North Dakota there, and they keep going towards Minnesota and southern Saskatchewan, and then let's see, and then they weaken a little bit, but some continue strong in Ontario there. And yeah, it won't be a gigantic event, but there'll be some stars, but it's showing more in North Dakota than in Minnesota there. But definitely some stronger ones in northern Minnesota this evening possible, and late this afternoon. So be aware. Let's see. In Nebraska and some other areas, it shows some showers and storms coming from Colorado, maybe affecting some stronger storms in Nebraska, and in South Dakota by this evening and this afternoon. And let's see. If further south there's something here. So it shows those showers in Colorado, New Mexico, mainly monsoon. And then it shows some storms in Colorado this afternoon, going to Nebraska there. And yeah, and more thunderstorms throughout the south. More storms in Alabama, uh, even Tennessee, Missouri, some storms in Mississippi later this evening and tonight. Louisiana, maybe a storm or two in southeast Texas. Yeah, but nothing severe, just normal thunderstorms. But there can be a strong storm or two, so be aware. So let's see, in the west it shows the storms in Utah and Wyoming there. Maybe not very strong, but there can be a stronger storm or two with some higher winds, especially from Idaho into Wyoming there. It's showing later this afternoon and especially this evening some stronger storms there. And yeah, just be aware throughout those areas. Let's see. The east, we still have some daytime storms in Florida and Georgia. Shows more storms there, especially this afternoon through Florida, northern Florida, southern Georgia, and the northeast is quiet. And yeah, this is mainly it. Now for the rest of the stuff, there's the map for today. Some rain, storms possible in the green, heavy rain in the red, and some severe storms in the yellow. And let's see. For tomorrow and uh, for day 3 it's not available, but yeah, for tomorrow. They also have a discussion for the southwest there. Localized flash flooding impacts will be possible today from scattered areas of monsoon convection, so be aware in the southwest. And let's see here some other areas. Precipitation for today mainly shows more in some central areas, Tennessee, some areas there, Florida from the thunderstorms, Arizona, New Mexico, more in the north there, Minnesota, North Dakota from those storms, Ontario, and more areas. And then for tomorrow, more Minnesota, parts of the Midwest, plains in the southeast, and some valleys there. For Sunday, this is Tuesday. Today is Saturday. Okay, so day 3 is Tuesday. So it shows more in the east, throughout the east there. For Wednesday, some more in the east and the southeast and maybe southwest. For Thursday, shows more in the Midwest and more in other areas. For Friday, more in the Ohio Valley, some areas there. For Saturday, more in some areas. So especially in the east and the northeast and the southwest. So day 1 through 7 shows more in Florida, more in those Ohio Valley, in those central areas there, and more in the East Coast, Minnesota, Southwest. Yeah, mainly it. Excessive rainfall, a slight risk in southern Texas and southeastern Texas, and a marginal in the Southwest through parts of the Rockies all the way to Montana, a marginal in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, a marginal from Texas to Central Florida, and all the way north to Illinois. So this is for Saturday today. For Sunday tomorrow, shows a slight risk in Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, and Georgia, a marginal in Texas, marginal in Arizona, New Mexico, marginal from Florida to Illinois, marginal North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and a slight in North Dakota there, especially in Minnesota, a slight risk for Sunday. So let's see, day 3 shows another marginal in Wisconsin, Minnesota, and UP of Michigan, another march from the southwest, a slight from northern Georgia to southern Ohio, and a marginal from Florida to Ohio. So be aware, heavy rain, flash floods. So let's see, another marginal for Tuesday, southwest, another marginal in Florida, and then this light from North Carolina to Ohio, and this marginal from South Carolina to Michigan. So be aware. For next Wednesday, shows another slight in West Virginia, be aware. A marginal from North Dakota to New Hampshire, and a marginal in the southwest, so be aware. Let's see some more things here. So some heat maybe. So let's see. Today still some majors there in Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, Michigan, and some areas. Some moderates there, moderates in the southwest and southeast, and even some areas of major. Some slight risks in the yellow. And let's see, for Sunday, alright, some majors in the plains, some extremes in northern Wisconsin there, maybe UP of Michigan, some majors there, moderate in the southwest, in Florida, the south and parts of the Ohio Valley. So there's some majors in Florida too, and extremes there. So let's see, Monday, more majors in the plains, majors in parts of Florida, moderates through the north, the south, the southwest. Tuesday, more majors in the plains, and even extremes in the plains. So this is by Tuesday, extreme heat risk in parts of northern Texas, western Oklahoma, and southern Kansas. So be aware, extreme heat risk, and shows more moderates throughout the central areas, all the way to the northeast, the south, and some majors in the red in some other areas, and moderates in the southwest too. For Wednesday, some slides in the yellow, moderates through many areas in the orange, and majors in Florida, parts of the south, southwest, especially Texas, some extremes in New Mexico, more extremes in Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma, and more extremes in Kansas. So extreme heat risk, please be careful next Tuesday to next Wednesday. So you can see here magenta, red, so this level of rare and long duration extreme heat with no truly overnight relief affects anyone. Yeah, so you have all the levels here, be careful. So next Thursday, still lots of moderates, light, and especially moderates in many areas, and shows more extremes through parts of Texas, New Mexico, more extremes through Oklahoma, Texas, and some in Kansas still. But be aware, still some extremes in Texas, Oklahoma, and then we start getting these extremes in Tennessee there by next Thursday. So even extreme or two in Florida, and next Friday shows some majors and even some extremes in Florida. Friday the 2nd, more majors and moderates throughout the south, some extremes in Mississippi, extremes still in Texas, some extremes in Arizona, more moderates throughout the north, some majors there, 2 moderates and majors in the northeast. Yeah, so be aware. Let's see the temperatures for today into the 90s in the plains, 100s in the southwest, some 80s and even 90s some other areas of the west, 90s in Florida, parts of Georgia, Alabama, even to Ohio, West Virginia, some 90s. Wait, what happened? For tomorrow, still already some 100s in the plains tomorrow, some 90s in the southeast, in Ohio, West Virginia, more 100s in the southwest. For Monday, alright, to 106 in Kansas, 100s in the plains there, 100s in the southwest, 90s in other areas, even to Pennsylvania. Day 4, Tuesday, will be very extreme there in the plains, 105, 104, and the feels like temperatures will be even hotter, so all the way to 100 in South Dakota, 90s through the Midwest, the Southeast, in the southwest, 100s. For Wednesday, 109 possible in Kansas, 90s, 100s through Texas, Missouri, Arkansas, more 90s all the way to North Dakota, Midwest, more 90s in the east and the southeast, and the 100s in the southwest. For next Thursday, day 6 shows more 100s in the plains, still some 100s in the southwest, in California, Oregon, some 90s, 100 in Idaho, 90s in the north, in the south, the east, Ohio Valley, bunch of 90s. And next Friday, day 7, shows a lot of 100s in Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas still, even 100s in Montana, 100s in parts of Washington, and Idaho, Utah, Arizona, southwestern California, other areas of California. So more 90s in the southeast. Yeah, so this is mainly it. Be careful with these high temperatures. So the max wind gusts for today, for Saturday, so this valid until Sunday at 3 p.m. So until tomorrow at 3 p.m. we might have stronger gusts in Wyoming there. It shows some reds and even some yellows. Those isolated yellows are like almost to 60 miles per hour wind gusts possible. Some gusty winds in California, some other areas of the west, through the plains too. Yeah, so this is today. Let's see, we have some air quality advisories in the northwest, red flag warnings, some small flood advisories in Texas and New Mexico, even some heat watches are in Kansas, heat advisory in Florida, but this changes all the time. Some hydraulic outlooks in Alaska there, small craft in Hawaii, and let's see what they say here. So they say the hydraulic outlook, some high waters along rivers, some areas of Alaska there, so be aware. Let's see some stuff in Canada now. So let's see if this works. So let's refresh this. So it shows already some severe thunderstorm watch in parts of Quebec. Conditions favorable for the development dangerous thunderstorms can producing strong winds, torrential rain, and mainly that. So conditions are favorable for the development dangerous thunderstorms can producing strong wind gusts and torrential downpours this afternoon and evening. So yeah, be aware that watch is in Quebec there, but I think they will issue more in Manitoba and Ontario, because the main severe weather risk is in Manitoba and Ontario. I'll show you in the map soon. So they already have some severe thunderstorm warnings, some heat warnings, and a tornado watch. So yes, like I told you, they already have some watches there. So let's see. So this is the tornado watch, mainly in Western Ontario there. So conditions are favorable for the development of severe thunderstorms, which may produce tornadoes, strong winds, large hail, and heavy rain. And risk of a tornado, strong winds up to 110 km per hour, ping pong ball size hail, early this afternoon into this evening, and approaching upper disturbance may trigger severe thunderstorms. So be aware there in that tornado watch. Lots of heat warnings still. So these heat warnings are mainly for sensitive people, but it can affect any person, like it says here, can affect everyone's health. So be aware. The temperatures are still almost to the 30s there in those areas. So I'll try to show you the map soon. So some heat warnings. Daytime temperatures might approach 30 degrees Celsius in those areas. So yeah, be careful, and especially with those severe storms there. So let's see, still some air quality advisories in Saskatchewan, in Alberta still, in Western Territories more quality advisories, and I'll show you the rest in a second. So here another map of the heat warnings there through Ontario, Quebec, and Manitoba. So be aware. And there is a general risk of thunderstorms throughout parts of Quebec there. They have the severe thunderstorm watch, and even for northern parts of Ontario, a general risk of thunderstorms. And they have some local smoke near active wildfires. So this is some air quality statements in parts of British Columbia. So be aware. And the air quality might get better. So it's getting better this weekend because of all the wind from that system blowing the dust farther away. So that's good. And the main focus today, the severe weather, is there in Western Ontario. They have a severe possible for southeastern Manitoba and Western Ontario there. And it's hard to see here, but there's also a general risk of thunderstorms throughout northern Manitoba, parts of Saskatchewan there. But be aware, they only mention here heavy rain, large hail, and strong winds. But as they mentioned in the weather alerts site, there can be a tornado there too. So be aware. You never know. There can be a tornado or two with these storms. So let's see. But be aware of some heavy rain, especially strong winds and some large hail. And there's a general risk of thunderstorms from Manitoba to northern Ontario and Quebec. And let's see. But be careful. The severe possible goes all the way from Manitoba to central Ontario there. So be careful with those storms today, and I'll show you another map soon for the storms. So let's see here. Let's just show you this again. So let's see. North Central here, so you can see southern Canada here. So wait, so this one has those stronger storms firing in Manitoba there, some array in Ontario, but the main hazard will be that line that forms in Manitoba there. Let's see, especially specifically this evening, it shows some very strong storms coming into southwestern Manitoba, into Ontario. So be careful. Those can have some very strong winds and maybe a tornado. You never know. So let's see. Shows more strong storms through western Ontario, especially. So yeah, be careful, please. Let's see. What's this? Wait. So we can see another map here for the storms there. So Western Canada, that system is already living there, so it will be drier, but by Sunday and Monday we might have more rain in British Columbia there, and that other system by Monday going north there into Western Territories and some other areas. And it shows even some more snow, maybe some rain by Wednesday, and more stuff later. So let's see here. Central Canada shows the powerful low pressure there, and the storms through Hudson Bay, more storms in Quebec there, some strong ones, but the main threat are those storms in southwestern Ontario there and Manitoba. So let's see a higher resolution model. So this is the European model, shows those very strong storms in southwestern Ontario and Manitoba, and continue there specifically later this evening, including northern Minnesota too. So yeah, be careful. The system moves east with more storms for Quebec tomorrow. So let's see. For eastern Canada, it shows some storms in Quebec there, and then as the system comes tomorrow, shows more strong storms in central Quebec. They keep going, but nothing crazy, just some more strong storms tomorrow night into Monday. And yeah, then maybe some more leftover storms by Tuesday in Ontario and Quebec, and it goes there by Wednesday, still some stuff, and then we might have more systems by Friday and Saturday, but especially this by next Saturday shows this big front there, and then next Saturday then turns into this low pressure by Sunday and goes away, but that's kind of out. So this is mainly it, I think. Let's see some stuff here. So first, some energy here. So like Cape, the energy for the storms. So it shows lots of Cape this afternoon and evening in parts of North Dakota, southwestern Ontario, Minnesota, southern Manitoba, South Dakota. So it shows a lot of energy for those storms there, and in some other parts of Ontario too. So yeah, and then tomorrow it shows more Cape in the U.S. there, shows a lot. So this is by Tuesday actually. So Sunday, tomorrow, shows only a little bit, but there might be some higher areas. Monday shows more Cape. And take a look at Tuesday evening. So Tuesday evening it has more than 5,000 joules per kilogram of Cape in parts of Nebraska, but from from what I have seen, I don't think there will be any severe weather by Tuesday. But with that amount of energy, you never know. But if there are no storms to tap into that energy, so you don't have anything. So yeah, so let's see here. Higher winds through parts of Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Ontario, especially Quebec. There, some stronger winds from these systems today, showing maybe in the Rockies in the U.S. some stronger winds. By Tuesday, still some strong winds in Quebec, Labrador, and then it goes to Greenland, the strong winds, and maybe more strong winds in Nunavut later because of these systems there. So yeah, but be aware today there, Manitoba, Quebec, and the other areas because of the wind from these systems. So let's see some temperatures for today. So it has more than 30 degrees today in Ontario, 33, 32 in some areas, 30, 26 in the 20s in Quebec, shows 20s there, some 20s in Manitoba, 30s in Northern Ontario. It shows warmer in the Western Territories, some high 20s, and then let's see, it cools down a bit because of this system, but Sunday, tomorrow, it shows still some very hot in some areas there of Ontario and Quebec, and then it kind of cools down a little bit, but we might have some more heat later next week. So yeah, now this is it. Thanks.